Folks, welcome back to another day. Welcome back to another video. It's your girl D here, and I do lifestyle content that chronicles my everyday life. If that's something that you like, boo, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Just about to go downstairs, cook some breakfast for my boo and I. It is a chilly, drizzly morning. As you can see, I've got my little hat on, okay, which means that I am cold. I've got my robe on because I'm cold. You see, I'm looking shiny because I put my sunscreen on, stay protected. So right now I am doing a bunch of planning. I'm doing planning for meals for next month. I'm doing plans for videos for next month because I'm trying to post more. I'm also watching my video with Ricky. Y'all, I feel like I'm so awkward on camera. I mean, I'm comfortable kind of speaking with you guys on my channel and all of that right through here. I don't know. It's just when you create videos and you're the one that's doing the editing, you have that control, and it feels natural. It feels calm and everything. But then when you collaborate with someone and it's on their channel or their platform or whatever the case may be, and you don't have any editing control, you feel like you're out of control. So like I had started watching, because the videos are long when he puts his podcast videos out, so I have to kind of like segment it a little bit. So I can only watch this in like 10-minute chunks because I'm just like, I'm so awkward. Why do people watch me? I'm so weird, so boring. And I think because I'm silly and I'm goofy and I'm genuinely like that, I mean, ask my husband, and just kind of ditzy and just out there, that people feel like they may be able to see themselves in me or just in the way that I film content and stuff like that. But it's just, for me, it's watching myself on someone else's channel is incredibly cringy, and it has nothing to do with the other person. Ricky's great. He's a natural like conversationalist and interviewer and all of that stuff. But it's like I'm seeing some of my mannerisms and I'm just like, oh, why did I do that? Or why did I do this? Da-da-da-da. So it's a little bit bizarre. But yeah, so today I am back on the grind. I have to log back onto work a little bit later and all of that. So that's why I've kind of been taking time to clean up, to plan videos. I'm looking over here because on my monitor I have like my whole kind of grid that I use for planning videos and planning meals. I'm trying to think of when this video comes out. So this video will most likely come out like the first Sunday of April, and I'm trying to post more. So I'm trying to post on like Sundays and Thursdays. So Sundays will be the vlogs from the week, things that we've kind of gotten up to, and then Thursdays will be kind of like a very specific video and shouldn't really be more than maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So I have a couple of videos that I am planning to put out during the month of April that I hope you guys enjoy watching. Truthfully speaking, I think that I'll enjoy making them and putting them together. Anyways, so I'm kind of putting together the stuff that I want to film and put out there for April and May. Staying organized, because there's a lot of stuff that's kind of going on like around work and obviously around the house. You guys already know that there's always stuff going on around that. So I want to stay consistent with my channel, do a little bit more on the channel. So I'm just exploring with the little things here and there. Welcome back to the kitchen. It's been a while in the kitchen, mainly because the hob needed to be replaced and I was using the hot plate that's over here. Came in clutch, but it can be difficult when like half the electrics are out, your hob don't work, and you're having to cook on a teeny tiny hot plate. But electrics all on this side of the house are out, like completely out, including the outlets, which is, so I would like string up in a, what's it called? Extension cord or extension lead, whatever you want to call it. I would bring the hob over here because this was the only light source in the kitchen and cook on the hob. It would take me almost forever in a day to cook because the hob is so tiny, but it's all good. You just make do, guys. You just make do, because the silver lining was that we never had to deal with load shedding for cooking. So I never was, what am I trying to say? Load shedding just really didn't affect us much when it came to cooking. So that was a blessing because our stove is electric, which when we get to the point where things are functioning as they should, change things up the way that we want to change them up, cosmetically speaking, we'll most likely turn this into a gas stove because that would make more sense for us. Now, the ovens during load shedding do go off, so if there's anything that I'm about to make that requires using the oven, that can be an issue. So I do look at the schedule to make sure I don't have to run into any issues with load shedding. Hey folks, welcome back to the vlog. Lots of things on my mind, y'all. If you hear chewing, if you hear barking, it's K-Will. Y'all, he's going through puberty. And if you've ever had a dog go through puberty, the hormones be raging. Like, I thought it was bad when like humans go through puberty, especially women, because you know we be getting mean and crazy and stuff when we go through puberty. Oh my gosh, the energy levels on this dog is insane. Absolutely insane. He literally just spin like a maniac. Okay, and then if you know dogs, especially male dogs, they be showing their excitement in other ways. I won't get explicit about it because I'm pretty sure you can get the gist. So that's kind of weird because it's like I've only had like one male dog in my life, and I'm just like, I've never dealt with this before. He's so energetic. I didn't come here to talk about K-Will. He's right over there, which is why I keep looking over there. Little blob right there. Yeah, but anyways, I just really came on here to tell you guys that I meant to bring y'all into the kitchen with me last night and completely forgot because I cook all the time, and I want to share what it is that I cook and the things that I'm kind of exploring around with. And so I tried out a new recipe yesterday and then completely forgot to bring the camera. Last night, I made this recipe called Firecracker Salmon. And Pinterest is like the go when it comes to trying to find recipes and everything. And I've got my phone here so I can bring up a little bit of a visual of what this looks like. It's really, really easy. I mean, the only reason why it's called Firecracker Salmon is because of the sauce. Now, I didn't follow the recipe like exactly, specifically when it came to cooking the fish, because I didn't want to dredge it in flour. I didn't feel like having to do all of that, so I just seasoned it and then just pan-seared it. But this is what it was basically supposed to look like, and you can see the name up here, Firecracker Salmon. Don't they look good? But the sauce is like sweet chili, has sweet chili sauce, soy sauce, red wine vinegar, sambal or like a chili garlic sauce, honey. I think those were the only ingredients. And so you're like supposed to cook the salmon, and then when you make the sauce, you're supposed to pour it over top of the salmon, and I think kind of like baste the salmon so that the flavor gets infused into the salmon. But instead, because I was just kind of on a time crunch and I was really busy and just in the middle of a ton of things, I pan-seared the salmon and then put the sauce in a saucepan and just simmered it until it kind of like thickened and reduced down a little bit, so it was like quite thick. For my boo, I don't ever put sauce on his stuff like that. I'll put it in a container and then he can do it himself. He really liked it. He came out of the room and was like, "Have you tried this sauce yet?" And I said, "Yeah, it's okay. You know, it was fine with me. You know, it has a little bit of a kick. It's like sweet, savory, and spicy." You okay? It's tough being Adobe, huh? It's tough being Adobe. Take a nap. Look at him. Say hi, guys. But yeah, so he came out. He was like, "Yeah, have you tried the sauce yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, I tried it." He was like, "I really liked the sauce." Y'all, it's like my heart fluttered because my boo is a picky eater. If you know him personally, you know that he's a picky eater. So it can be difficult trying to figure out what to cook. And he loved the sauce. And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I love it." And so there's quite a bit of sauce left. So it's a type of sauce I think that could be really good over chicken, over fish. I don't know about game meat, you know, like lamb or like beef or anything like that, but definitely chicken and seafood, fish, all that kind of stuff. Really, really good sauce. I was just really happy to know that he was satisfied with dinner, slurped it up, and liked it so much that he ate some later that night. And then tonight, I'm making Moroccan chicken tajine and rice, maybe a little bit of a side salad. Hey folks, welcome back to Dee's Kitchen. As I said in the previous clip, we're going to be making Moroccan chicken tajine. So here I'm just showing the ingredients, which are olive oil, garlic, onions, olives, parsley, coriander or cilantro for those that are in the States, lemon, ginger, a plethora of seasonings, and then of course our chicken thighs. So one of the first things you want to do is slice up your lemon pretty thinly because we're going to be putting this on top of our chicken, and you'll see where we'll put that on top of the chicken throughout the cooking process. This is something that I've never done before, so according to the recipe, you have to bloom the saffron. So of course I had to Google it because I had no idea what that meant, but it basically means putting a couple strands of saffron on top of a ice cube, and letting it melt. So I let the saffron sit and bloom for about 15 minutes and moved on to my garlic. I used my garlic press to mince it because there are a lot of cloves of garlic, and then I moved on to my onions. Chop that up really finely because we're going to be cooking those together. Y'all, ain't nothing like the smell of garlic and onion cooking together. If you cook in the kitchen and you understand what it's like, it's literally a heavenly smell. So this is what our saffron is looking like after about 15 minutes. You can see it's super yellow in color, looking great. I didn't show this on camera, but I had cut up the cilantro and the parsley, all the seasonings, put it on top of the chicken, and put the olives and the lemon on there, and then it was time to go into the oven. Truthfully, with this recipe, even though there's quite a few ingredients, the most difficult part, if I can even call it that, or the most tedious part, really was just prepping all of the ingredients and then cooking the onions and garlic. That's pretty much it. After that, once the onions and the garlic are cooked, you just put the chicken on top and everything else and just put it in the oven. Hey folks, so, sorry it's a little bit dark. I should have started dinner earlier. This thing has to cook for like an hour, and daylight is not really on my side. As you can see, this is the only light source in the kitchen that works, other than the oven, right? So I just put the chicken in. You would have heard me do a voiceover for the recipe and everything. It smells so good in this kitchen right now. So good. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that this recipe turns out really good. If there was smell-o-vision right now, you'd be in heaven. It smells like garlic and onions and like all the seasonings and everything that I put in there. So we'll see. This thing has to cook for a while. Next time you see me will be me plating this up for my boo, and then I will let you know what he thinks of it. So sorry it's dark. It's what happens when there's no lights in the house. But so the verdict on the chicken is that it's good. My boo does like it. Things that he would change is make the skin crispier, because the way that I rubbed the herbs and all the seasonings and everything all over the chicken, top and bottom, but the skin isn't crispy, and I even like crispy skin, especially on chicken thighs. That's pretty much where all the flavor is at. Chicken is tender, chicken's cooked through, which is great because that's always a worry of mine when it comes to cooking chicken in the oven. And it's not dry, which is great, but that's because I use chicken thighs. You could probably use chicken breasts, and I'm sure that they would still come out tender. I think you would just have to adjust the cooking time, and it probably wouldn't have to be in there for very long, maybe even half the time if you're kind of short on time. But overall, it's a good recipe. I think I might keep it in the toolbox of recipes. Overall, good, good, good. Hey folks, welcome back to the vlog. I'm just popping in here really quick to tell you guys a little bit about dinner tonight. Oh, my eyes are itchy and dry. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, and then I wanted to give you a semi-update on something. I'm laughing even though it's not all that funny. We can laugh together. Okay, so my boo and I, it's midnight. My boo and I went out to dinner tonight. We went to a place called Mr. George or Mr. George's. I don't know if it's Mr. George's or Mr. George. I think it's Mr. George's in Melrose Arch. Some of our friends had recommended this place several times, and we were trying to find a place to eat for dinner because we knew we wanted to go out to dinner, have a little bit of a dinner date. We decided upon Mr. George's. I would say, overall, it was probably like a C+, B-. It wasn't super groundbreaking. There were certain elements that were really great, and then there were other things that were mediocre, truthfully. Not horrible, but just average, mediocre. We got a couple of drinks. The drink that my boo got was strong, okay? Let me tell you that. I'm not really drinking because it's like, you guys know I'm really into my skin, so I'm trying to stay away from the alcohol because alcohol can sometimes like mess with your skin, and I'm trying to keep it looking young and supple, you know what I mean? And so I'm trying to keep away from the alcohol. My boo got a drink that was super strong. it was filled with all sorts of hard liquor. Even though we read it on the menu, for some reason it just didn't click that it was going to taste strong. I guess we just thought, okay, it's gonna have a bunch of stuff in it, but it'll still taste, it won't really taste like it has alcohol in it. Kind of like a Long Island iced tea, right? Like a Long Island iced tea has a ton of alcohol in it, but the combination of those alcohols or those liquors, whatever you want to call them, make the drink not taste like it's a drink full of alcohol. But this one tasted like a drink full of alcohol. So he had to dilute it with Sprite. And he couldn't even finish it because he was just like, it's just too much for me, it's too much for me. Yeah, and so because I'm not really drinking like that, I got myself a mocktail or a virgin G&T, and I love gin and tonic. I love a good gin and tonic. It didn't start off the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. Like, we've definitely had worse places, and this place was not even close to that. For starters, we got halloumi and squid heads, two starters that we typically get. The squid heads, you can't really go wrong with fried squid heads. The sauce is really good that went with them. But then the halloumi was like best I think that we'd ever had. And it was grilled, not fried. And then the sauce that went with it was really good. I don't even know what kind of sauce it was, but it was really, really good. So the starters kind of helped redeem the situation with the drinks. My drink, I was expecting it to be relatively plain because I literally just got a virgin G&T, so I wasn't expecting anything super groundbreaking. But because my boo's drink was not exactly what he wanted, the starters kind of helped to redeem everything. So starters, great. Then for our mains, I got lamb chops with broccoli and my boo got salmon with chips or fries, whatever. Like, mine was okay as far as like the taste and everything wasn't bad at all. It had that like grilled charcoal. I don't know what the correct word is for it. These charred lamb chops. And they were very good, very tender, very flavorful, all of that. The broccoli was okay. I feel like I've cooked broccoli better than what I had on my plate, but I wanted some greens, so I ordered broccoli. And the type of broccoli that they made was really good. Like the type that is the type that I like to use. So it totally fit my vibe. My boo, on the other hand, though, ordered the salmon for like 300 and something rands, which to me is kind of expensive. It was literally like all you get is just a fillet, just the salmon fillet. Like that was it, with a little bit of like a little pile of crispy onions on the side, and then the sauce that came with it, which I think was kind of like a teriyaki sauce. But then like he got fries on the side, which we had to pay extra for, and it was like, how much was the meal? Like 360, 370 rands for his meal, but it was super subpar. Like, very mediocre. Then to finish off, I was really wanting the bread and butter pudding that they had, basically a bread pudding, and it came with a little cup of vanilla gelato on the side. Now that was really good, very, very good. And the portion was huge because before she brought out the bread pudding, she brought out 2 plates and 2 spoons, and I'm like, why is she bringing this out? Because I ordered it for myself. I didn't order it to share with him because he's not really into bread pudding like that. So when she brought that out, I was like, maybe she's mistaken, thought I had ordered 2 instead of 1, or the portion size must be kind of shareable. And when she brought that thing out, it was like 6 to 8 inch round like cast iron skillet with the bread pudding in it. I was like, oh, it's to share. This is definitely to share. It's too rich for one person to eat by themselves and even finish in one sitting. So I brought the rest of it back. But other than that, I mean, everything else, like I said, was just mediocre, subpar, wasn't anything super groundbreaking. Would I go back? It's possible. Like if some of my friends are like, hey, we're gonna go to Mr. George's for like lunch or for dinner or whatever, like you guys should come out, I would entertain it. I'd entertain the idea of going back there, but I'm not itching to get back there, if you know what I mean. So it was okay. So I told you I was gonna give you an update on something. I don't have any footage because I think I was just super sad about it and I just didn't want to capture my sadness on camera. But I had to get rid of all of my plants, except for the pineapple. The pineapple's still going strong, but the garlic and the spring onions, green onions, had to get thrown out. And the reason for it is because we were finding like daisy or dussy, because I know sometimes they call them dussies here, surprises all around. Didn't make me feel all that great about like snipping stuff off and using them to cook and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, my boo and I were talking about it, and even though the green onions were like that luscious, thick green color, because of the surprises that were like all around these plants, we just thought it's probably safer than sorry to throw them out than to keep them. But I'm not super upset about it because I think this month I'm going to be buying a couple of other provisions for the plants so that I can, one, give them more space for them to thrive, especially the garlic, also just be able to start growing some other things. I need to find a way to keep the daisies away from the plants, but also allow them to like get sunlight and, you know, so that I can properly water them and everything like that. And so I was thinking about getting some sort of mesh cover, because ultimately what I would love to do, and this won't happen until we do over the gardening area that I talked to you guys about like several months back, the plot of land in the backyard that I want to transform into my vegetable garden. Greenhouse will be there and all of that, right? Is I want to have raised beds, but to kind of keep the critters away, I want to create covers that have a hinge on them so that when I need to tend to them, if I need to harvest or if I need to prune or throw things away, deadhead, whatever, then I can just lift the top, do what I need to do, latch the top back. It'll be covered with some sort of mesh thing so that bird poop doesn't get through it, little critters don't get through to it, or anything like that. I say that it won't be a while till I can build those raised beds, but it's possible I might be able to build maybe a couple of small ones just to kind of get my feet wet with building raised beds and kind of figuring out the best practices, learning curves, things like that, so that when I do go to build the bigger ones, I'll have everything essentially perfected. So I go back and forth about that. But yeah, I had to throw out the garlic and the spring onion. I think I might end the vlog here, and I will talk to you guys later and see you in the next video. Bye guys.